Today we have 1 hour to get as much loot from reserve as humanly possible and showcase exactly how much we made from that hour. We're going to be able to use anything that we want within this, and we're going to see what the top end line of how much money you can actually make in these raids is going to be. So if that sounds like a good idea, then make sure to like it and leave your comments as to which map you want to see me do next, and I'll get round to that. So with that out of the way, the kind of underlying cause, what are we actually going to be putting our items in? So we have got ourselves a thick case with nothing in it. We're going to be dropping in our items into this as quickly as possible after our raid is done, so we can get back into the next one. The actual items that we're using, we're just going with a generic setup. I'm going to be testing out the brand new SR3M that came with patch 0.15 as an additional extra, which will be coming as a video as well sometime soon. And of course, we've got ourselves all of the keys for reserve that I typically hit up in my rooms and marked rooms and that sort of stuff that we'll be using over the course of the runs that we're doing. Now, in terms of extracts, we're going to try and figure out the best way of getting in and out as quickly as possible whilst hitting up as many of the high value loot locations as possible. So hopefully we can kind of come up with a good plan as we go, and we're just going to see how it actually happens. And so here we go, the timer is off. Let's jump into the first raid on reserve and see how well we can actually do. So jumping in, we've probably got one of the worst spawns possible for reserve, which is always good. Sounds like glue cars in the raid as well, which is always fun. So we are going to make our way over to RBVO, see what we can do over there, and hopefully not get beamed straight off the bat, because yeah, that wouldn't be so fun. Right, so opening up the first marked room, RBVO, and what do we get in here? Let's jump on the light. So CPU fan, we got ourselves a couple of items, got ourselves a VPX, not too bad. Have we got any of the key cards or anything lying around anywhere on the chair? Absolutely not. Not looking so good. Cultist figurine, not too bad. But yeah, overall loot not looking too incredible. Checking on the chairs or on the kind of shelving units as well. But yeah, do we take the MK17s? Probably not. It's just going to weigh us down and probably cost us that time. We'll take the Desert Eagle though, just for a little bit of extra cash. But so far, not a great start to the run, but hopefully we can pick it up as we go through. So probably not worth opening the RBVO at that point, but you know, anything that we take out there is basically free loot. Now we'll hit up the next one. I think there's a couple of duffel bag spawns in here that can spawn, so hopefully we can find those. And of course, getting shafted so far. Here we go, first duffel. So nothing spectacular in that one. Cool, another duffel. We'll take the water just so that we can replenish ourselves near the end of the raid. I think we'll go out the back way, and then we'll make our way around to the kind of the barrack buildings, because they're always pretty decent loot. And of course, they're very, very consistent loot, which is what we want. We don't want to be trying to get lucky, I suppose. I mean, the marked rooms aren't particularly great for that, but you never know. You could get a key card. It can make it all very, very good. But what we don't want to do right now is come into contact with any of the boys, the glue car boys. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen. Right, so we got a stand back. Gonna have to try and wing this. Oh, I balls that one up. By the way, fingers crossed glue car doesn't beam me in the back of the head, which could pretty much possibly happen. But we're going for it anyway. There's quite a few PMCs that do spawn on this map, and they do make their way somewhat over to this location, but primarily in the barracks area, so fingers crossed that we don't meet them there. The less PMCs that we have to fight, the longer we are going to be able to loot in the raid and the quicker we can get out, which is what we want. Now, one good thing that we can do whilst we're kind of gaining stam is just to kind of loot up at the same time. If we can find a box to open, ideal, because that's going to generate our stam back whilst we're searching and looting up and everything like that. So always a good idea to try and do that if you can whilst you're getting up that stam. As you can see, walking around a little bit, just seeing if any of the containers are up. Right, so we got a full stam. Let's run over, and fingers crossed the AI don't see me just as I get close, but you never really know. Okay, I think there's a scav over there. Make our way across into the first building. Usually like to come in through this entrance. Cool. Cool. Perfect. Now we got one of the RB orb keys right here, which is always a good one because they do have some of these bad boys, which is the drawers. And drawers on reserve are just absolutely broken. They make you so much money, and although they're very boring to actually loot, they can have things like, for example, power banks and that sort of stuff, which is what you're kind of banking on, no pun intended, and some of those filament lamps as well. And then getting any intel folders, you can get them in here. You can get some really good keys in these as well. They are a bit hit and miss sometimes, so you can spend quite a bit of time actually grabbing them, but you can also get some of those beastly keys. And I think the RBSMP key is very, very valuable. I think it's one of the medical rooms where you can get a LEDX, which is always a good one. So definitely worth checking out. We're just going to be trying to grab up as much stuff as we possibly can. Ammunition, not particularly the best for money, but just checking some of these as well. So we want to just double check around the corners. We got ourselves another set of drawers in here, which is always good. Well, that wasn't particularly very fun. I don't think we'll be testing our luck with the AI on that one. We'll move over to this little duffel bag. Come on. Okay, tool set, PGW, not too bad, and some wires. Actually a good duffel bag right there. We'll check over here just in case if we get some of these medbag spawns. I think there can be like 4 medbags that spawn over here total, but yeah, I mean, I never see every single one of them. I think there's a grenade box as well, so always worth it just in case you get a some of the impact nades, which is always good. Which we don't, but that's fine. Get ourselves a little Calloc. Okay then, trying to sneak up on me. Packing mags is not the most ideal thing, but I guess maybe next time we'll actually take 3 mags, just so that we don't have to pack mags during the raid. That's probably a smart idea. Saves us quite a bit of time in doing that, so I think we'll do that from now on. Cool, that's everything. Now we'll make our way over to this corner, which they do have another set of drawers. We're really hoping for those keys. Cool, a nice little power bank as well. We can drop out the SP5 and drop that in there. We'll go up another 2 floors, because that is where our next room is that we want to check. There can be some duffel bags around here as well, but unfortunately for us, we haven't got any. Okay, cool. Looks like the scavs actually came in here, but usually they don't actually open drawers, which is always good. Now this is some really good audio that we've got right now, where you can hear the rain, but you're indoors. Thanks very much, BSG. Now there's a ton of ammo spawns upstairs, but we're not particularly too fussed on ammo in these raids. We want to get some of that loot. Okay, so we had a little PMC decide to gang up on us. Right, he is around here somewhere. See if the PMC actually looted anything. Of course he didn't. Now PMCs on this map can be super annoying, camping around corners, especially downstairs. We're going to hit up the marked room just to see if we can get lucky with the key card. This was another PMC. Looks like he was using a shotgun, which is always fun. It's like a shotgun scav on roids. This guy actually had a cat on him, which is nice. Is worth looting the PMCs. I was just hoping he would have some pretty decent stuff on him, but sadly not. Cool. Nice little scavvy boy trying to run up and attack us from behind. Caught in a door. Thank you very much, game. Got ourselves an AS Vow. We got ourselves a nice little Bitcoin as well, which will drop in just in case. Close the door. Axle figurine, perfect. Anything else in here? No key cards by the looks of things, but that's fine. We'll grab up the LMG. Guess we could grab the Deagle. Don't think we're missing anything else. Well, we've encountered another 2 PMCs, I think, which is always good. Drop our backpack. Cool. That was 1. Maybe they were just scavs, actually. Check their pockets every single time, because you never know. Might have a marked key on them. This guy's looted someone up by the looks of things. Cool. Nothing spectacular. Let's grab our bag and make our way up to the extract. Problem is, we're so heavy that trying to fight when you're like stacked out is not the best. Right. Okay. We're going to hit up these 2 rooms over here. So this one right here, which I believe is the RB KPRL. Yeah. Cool. So we can hit up this. We got a little safe. Sometimes it has bitcoins in and rares. Not looking like it today. Hopefully we can get a nice little scope in here. We'll take it just for the sake of it. Got ourselves a fairly chunky and a little cat, which we can do a bit of rearranging for. Check this safe. Good thing about having a docs case and a sit case is you can dump everything all in one. Open up here. We got ourselves another safe that we'll quickly go check. And the S diaries we can also keep. And then we're just going to go get out. And we can reset, go back, and see what we can do. Okay, so that took about 20 minutes, which is longer than I wanted it to be. But either way, we won't complain too much. I think the majority of the time is usually spent actually fighting. There was quite a few guys on that one. So we want to get straight back in as quickly as possible. Takes about 20 seconds to a minute to actually get into a raid, so it's not too bad on PVE, because obviously you have the local hosted. We're playing on our own, there's no one else. We're not having to share any of the loot, which always helps as well. So yeah, I think that's always a benefit. We need to be quick in actually dropping everything in here. Right, so that should be everything. We will drink the water that we got because we want to get straight back in, not have to worry about anything. And where are we? There we go. 5 in the morning, not the ideal time. We'll go at 5 at night. Oh, we keep getting the horrendous spawns. I guess we should skip RBVO and just go straight for the loot in the barracks. I think that's going to be a more consistent way because we spent quite a bit of time in wandering around RBVO area, so we don't want to do that again. Okay, so we had a little rando come up from behind. Well, that wasn't very fun. Right, so pack that mag. Let's go check this guy. This may have been a guard or just a weird scav. Not entirely sure. Strange. I'm sure we'll find out at the end. Either way, we're not trying to fight Gulukar. Right, we'll take the time to put the arm back on. Check up the dead scav. They can have any sorts of things on them, which is always good. Horse. Okay, cool. Just grab up in here. Right, we want to check all of these. It's always worth undoing or unloading some of these as well, because they can have some pretty decent stuff. EP ammo, we'll take that. Nothing fantastic in that one. That's alright, we've got another orb key just directly underneath, 2 floors down, so really looking for some high value scopes. EP ammo, SP8. Gonna check for any duffels that can be around here, because there can be quite a few. Cool, Pro Patrol. Good old shotgun scavs coming in clutch. Quickly check up on our PMC friend that we got out, take out earlier, and grab his little vector. Okay, got ourselves some duffels. We'll open up this door and we're back to RB orb. Okay. Hopefully this scav has looted up. Of course he hasn't. Another little scav trying to sneak up. Either way, he had some decent stuff on him, so we'll take it. What we'll do is drop out all of this stuff and we can keep the rest of it. I think it's time to go hit up the marked room since we're close to here, which is our BBK. Of course, nothing in it as usual. Vertex, which is okay, but still not great. Yeah, nothing particularly very good. Cool, let's get in here. Open up. Check this whilst it's opening. And of course, absolutely nothing in that or that. Hopefully the safe can bring it back. Cool, rooster. Lovely. Check these. Okay, vase, not bad. Anything in there? Nope. Now there's one thing that we'll check just because we're nearby, is that there can be quite a few duffels in here. So we'll check in here. And there's 2, I think. One behind this chair. There's 3 spawns, so there can be quite a few. Nice little roller. Right, time to extract and reset the raid. So yet again, about 20 minutes to get through that whole raid. So it takes a little bit of time, and it's mainly because we've been shafted by the spawns each time, literally spawning on the opposite side of the map every single time, which definitely hasn't helped us. We did take out a guard, so Rashala was, or not Rashala, but Glukar was in the kind of area directly where we spawned, so we were kind of lucky that all of his guards didn't push us. It kind of looked like it was an aggro guard, so yeah, I'm not surprised. But yeah, managed to deal with him and then managed to actually get through the entire raid. So once again, not too unhappy with how it's actually going, but would have been nice to pick up some better items, maybe getting ourselves a graphics card or something out of some of these duffels, but I don't think we can complain all too much, to be honest. Cool, let's get back into the raid. We are going to have to probably extract early on this raid, just because of the fact that the time, we've only got 17 minutes, so we are only going to be hitting up probably some of the high value loot locations rather than some of the others. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. And oh my god, we've spawned as far away as possible, which is never good. We'll hit up our BVO since we are here just for the sake of it, and you never know, we could get lucky with a military power filter, which would be ideal, as that could save our kind of 3 raids that we've had. So let's get straight in here, and then we'll make our way all the way around, which is just a long bit of it. Got ourselves a airdrop. Maybe we could actually call that one in. SR3M, ideal, because you can only buy those via a trade, I believe. M30 Veritas pick. Oh, not great. Anything else that we've got? Let's double check on the floor, because I don't want to lose out on a key card. That wouldn't be the first time. And oh my word. Looks like apparently they could see us through the door from behind. through the window, and I would assume that it was Glukar and his guards, if I'm going to bet anything. Oh no, it was PMCs apparently. Not great. We're going to have to be super rapid to go into the raid now. Hopefully we don't get that terrible spawn again. So far away from all of the good loot locations where you can just run in and get the loot. Right, so straight back in. Hopefully we can get there as quickly as possible. We're going to almost have to run directly to the extract on this one. Well, we just had a little intruder cat encounter, which was brilliant for saving us time. But oh well. Hopefully we can continue with no more cat encounters. We're going to basically only going to be able to at least loot up one of the buildings. I'm thinking we hit up RBBK and then we try and hit up the RBRLSA and check those duffels. And hopefully that will take us to the hour. So I'm thinking we'll hit up the middle barracks, check those 2 rooms and any duffels that will be there. Really, I should have brought an SJ6. SJ6 Trimador combo, but I guess it is what it is. Right, straight up to 2nd floor. Straight in, we'll grab the drum mag. Right, okay. Let's loot up these. Ooh, nice little SJ6. Can drop in some of this stuff just in case we do get taken out. We'll want to reload because I know my luck. Gonna get caught on the reload by a group of 5 PMCs or something stupid. Come on. I know you've got a marked room key in here. Yeah, I'll take both of those. Should really have taken an injector's case, but getting ever so sketchy around here. Keychain. Really hate that they kind of like screwed up the torch on this thing. MCB. Wouldn't normally hit up this duffel, but we're gonna do it anyway. We'll hit up the dead scav right here. 5 minutes left. It's going to be a close one. Oh my lord. Right. Looks like it's SJ6 time. This could be both a blessing and a curse. Luckily we found those stims. It's cost us a little bit to actually use them in terms of how much profit we've made, but it shouldn't really be too bad. Because obviously the tank battery's worth quite a lot and there's no way we're running around with anything. Plus it's going to cost us time, which we can't loot then. Alrighty. So we got 4 minutes. What should we do now for the 4 minutes whilst we're waiting? Right. Come on. Oh, I've scuffed it. I think we go check the duffels. What I'll do is I'll drop my bag. Oh, it's this room. Screw it. We'll go for duffels. They're only going to have more valuable loot. Is that even worth anything? It's been so long since I picked up sodium. Right. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, bollocks. Well, that's not good. Well, had to drop the old Corond. I was an idiot. Forgot that we couldn't actually bring out body armor. And it wasn't insured as well. It wouldn't have been a problem if it was insured. Either way, that is the hour done. With 40 seconds to spare. So, yeah, a pretty, how do you say, close hour. Managed to get 3 raids in, so not too bad. But I guess we should probably check how much loot I've actually got from that entire hour. And then we'll see exactly what we ended up with. Because if we didn't die on that 3rd run, out of the 4 total, then we probably would have made a bit more because we'd have been able to actually loot up and search around a little bit more. But unfortunately for us, that was not the case. So, bit unfortunate in that one, but it is what it is. And we'll see what we what we do now with the loot. Right, so this is the loot from 1 hour of reserve. We're going to go ahead and sell absolutely everything. I'll get back to you with how much exactly we made from the hour. And then, yeah, you can make your own assumptions as to whether or not you think it's worth it. If you've got other bits to add into the kind of runs, if you would do it differently, let me know. And if you have footage of it, let me know by putting a... And if you want to test out this challenge to see how much you can make, then you can always send your footage to the email in the description down below if you want me to showcase some of it, and of course the results as well. And that would be a cool thing to add in as kind of a community style thing where we can show off what you guys actually did within your runs as well. Right, so we have finally sold everything and we've got ourselves all of the packages from Ragman. I think one item is selling, which is this SJ9, which we'll probably just remove and we can sell that directly at the end. But we'll receive everything else, which will nice and fit into our stash in a horrible manner. So let's go ahead and sort everything like that out and then I'll join you back once we put it into the actual box. Right then, so from those 3 successful raids that we did, this is how much money we actually made. Now, I've kept the keck tape because I need it just for a quest, so I'm just going to hand that in, but it's an additional 15k for those of you wondering. It might actually be more on the flea, so like 40k or whatever, so that's an additional extra, but we're going to use it for our task. M80, of course, is worth something, but we didn't sell the ammunition because I'll probably end up using it. But yeah, in terms of money, we got ourselves, by the looks of it, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, 5.5 million, 5.54 million rubles from 3 raids. So not quite hitting the 2 mil per raid mark, which is okay, but we were kind of trying to rush through the raids and of course not hitting up every single spot. So although you can make more money per raid, trying to get in 3 different reserve raids where you're going through the whole raid is quite difficult. Of course, hitting down into D2 is a good option to do, but there's a more risk, and if you get taken out, it could end up with me getting taken out twice or something by random nades or whatever. So it's a bit more risky. The loot is definitely good down there, but, you know, is it better to spend more time in your raid to get slightly more money or to just run through your raid to try and get as much loot as quickly as possible? I think that's kind of what the test was. For me, I think personally, I feel like going down into the actual D2 is probably the better option, having done that for pretty much every single one of my raids that I do on reserve, using this kind of loot run as the starting bit and then going into D2 and extracting through there. There's a lot of loot down in actual D2 where it's basically free, there's no PMCs or anything like that. But yeah, 5.5 million rubles, not too bad for 1 hour. But of course, on certain other maps, things like labs, you can definitely earn a lot more. And if you watch my recent labs video where we kind of showcased off 3 different separate occasions of running labs with all of the different key cards in a pretty decent fashion, we managed to pick up just over 8 million, I think, something like that in total from 3 raids. So yeah, I mean, labs is still probably better than reserve, but we did spend quite a lot on some of the keys. Of course, some of this loot did come from marked room keys, which do have a cost to them, but because of the marked room keys actually being able to be transferred into a dorm's marked room key, yeah, you can pretty much transfer them into the dorm's marked room key, which significantly reduces the cost of each use. And you can see here, if we go and try and find a 10 out of 10, the dorm's marked room key right now, 20 million roughly. So by the time you add up all of the keys for reserves, so RBP, KPM and everything like that, 10 out of 10 uses, you probably end up with a key value where you're spending like 4 mil to get 30 openings essentially, or 27 openings if we're keeping 1 out of 10 uses so that we can do the trade for the dorm's marked room key. Yeah, I mean, they don't really cost you anything to open, and certainly you'll get your money back, and probably quite a bit more, a couple million, 3 million, 4 million from opening all of these up down to 1 out of 10 uses, and probably more than that, even if you get taken out. Really, there is no real cost to it. You might sink 1 million if you went into every single one of the rooms and, you know, got absolutely terrible loot. It might cost you 1, 2, 3 million, but most of the times you're going to make it up with some of those top tier items out of those 27 uses, and even then at the kind of minimum base value you'll probably still make your money back anyway. So it's a break even at minimum and is going to give you money anyway most of the time. So definitely worth using the Marked Room keys on reserve, provided that they aren't extremely expensive when you compare it to the Dorm's Marked Room key. For example, if RBBK room key is like 18 million and the Dorm's is 20 million, then it's probably not worth doing, because you have to pick up the other two to make the trade worth it. But use your common sense, it'll work. There you go, that is how much we made. Now if you enjoyed these videos, make sure to hit that like button. Let me know what you want to see as the next map for this kind of series, where we'll go through every single one of the different maps and how much money we can make in an hour, and then we'll kind of format that into longer runs of these to see how long over periods of time does it become the most consistent overall map, which map is that most consistent overall map. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.